A very good morning to one and all. So this is Sheikh John Saidulu from the Department of CSE in CIET. So in today's session, I am going to discussing about the topic called recurrences. So before we are entering into these recurrences, okay, so first we need to know that what is a recursive function. So you know that, so within the C programming, so you know that a recursive function is nothing but it is a function which is calling by itself. Okay, so likewise the recurrence method is also, it is calling a method which is calling by itself, right? So the recurrences are gives us a natural way to characterize the running times of the divide and conquer algorithms. Okay, divide and conquer algorithms. So in this session, so we are going to discussing about the asymptotic analysis of the solving the recurrences. So before we are entering into that one, so first we need to know what is the recurrence. After that we see what are the different methods for solving the recurrences. Okay, what is the functionality of the each and every recurrences. Okay, and we need to, we can also explain about each and every recurrence with a beautiful or the simple example. Okay, so here so the first and foremost one is, so in if we want to discuss about these recurrences, so first we need to know what is a recurrence in a simple term. Okay, so a recurrence, it is nothing but it is an equation or inequality that describes a function in terms of its value on smaller inputs. Okay, right? So a recurrence, that is nothing but it is an equation or it is an inequality that describes a function in terms of its value on smaller inputs. Okay, for example, if we take a quicksort, right? If we take quicksort, okay, so within the quicksort, what we need to do? So a quicksort is a divide and conquer algorithm, right? So quicksort can use a divide and conquer strategy. It means, so there we are having so n number of elements, array of n number of elements, and among those elements, okay, so we have to apply the quicksort in order to convert your unsorted array of elements into the sorted array of elements. So in order to do that one, what we will do? So firstly we have to select a pivot value. After the pivot value will get its exact position, we have to make the list into the two sublists, that is the left sublist and the right sublist. Okay, again the same procedure will be applied upon the same thing, the resultant thing, in order to get your exact solution of your quicksort. Okay, right? So it means, so the same thing. Okay, so same thing is going to be applied. That is nothing but, so divide and conquer, the same strategy. Frequently the same strategy is going to be applied upon something in order to get its corresponding value, in order to get its desired output, or in order to get its final solution. Okay, so for example, so here, so you know that a recurrence, it is an equation or inequality that describes a function in terms of its value on the smaller inputs. Okay, so you know that the worst case time complexity of the merge sort, that is nothing but the theta of n log n or the big O of n log n. So that is the worst case time complexity of your merge sort, right? Okay, so before we are entering into that one, so first we can see what is a recurrence. So here an equation or inequality that describes a function in terms of its value on the smaller inputs. That is, for example, t of n is equal to t of n minus 1 plus n here. Okay, so generally we have to note one, we have to remind one thing, that is, so generally the recurrences are erased when an algorithm contains the recursive calls to itself. Okay, so the recurrence. So recurrences are arise. When should those recurrences are arise? So the recurrences are arise when an algorithm contains the recursive calls to itself. Okay, next obviously the question is, what is the actual running time of the algorithm? Okay, so in order to need to solve the recurrence, we have to follow the following steps. That is, the first and foremost one step is we have to find an explicit formula of that expression. Okay, given an expression. For example, if we take the med sort, so the recurrence function is nothing but, so T of n is equal to 2 into T of n by 2 plus C into sum n. Okay, that is, so T of n is equal to 2 into T of n by 2 plus C into sum n. Here T of n by 2 is nothing but, so we have to divide a problem of size n into two subproblems, and each and every subproblem of size n by 2, that is 2 into T of n by 2 plus C into sum n. So C into sum n in the sense, so C, that is some constant time. So in order to divide and in order to conquer the solutions of the different things, so we have to take Cn. Okay, that is, so T of n is equal to 2 into T of n by 2 plus C into n if n is greater than 1. Okay, or else if T of n is equal to theta of 1 if the n is equal to 1. So that is the recurrence relation for the merge sort. Okay, so in order to need to solve the recurrence, the first and foremost step is we have to find an explicit formula of the expression, and the second one is we have to find the bound that the recurrence by an expression that involves n. Okay, we have to bound the recurrence by an expression that involves n. So within this step 1, we have formulated the expression. Okay, we have formulated the expression. So upon that expression, so we have to find the bound of that expression that involves the array of size n. Okay, so coming to these recurrences. Okay, let me explain this one first. So the recurrences. So a recurrence is, so it is an equation that describes a function in terms of its value on the smaller inputs. Okay, and you know that the recurrences are go along with the divide and conquer algorithm because they provide a natural way, that is to characterize the running time of these algorithms. Okay, so the recurrences are go along with the divide and conquer algorithm because they can provide a natural way in order to characterize the running time of these algorithms. Okay, so next one is, so to solve a problem or to solve the problem or to solve this particular task. Okay, so to solve the problem, the required time is A into T of n by B. Okay, if we consider the time required for division is D of n and the time required for combining the results of the subproblems is C of n. Okay, so the recurrence relation can be expressed as, so the T of n is equal to A into T of n by B plus D of n plus C of n otherwise, or theta of 1 if n is less than or equals to C. So if you see this one, so generally all the recurrences is of the form, there is T of n is equal to A into T of n by B plus F of n. So where F of n is equal to D of n plus C of n. Okay, let me take in this one first. That is the T of n is equal to A into T of n by B plus D of n plus C of n. So F of n is equal to D of n plus C of n, the time required to divide and to conquer. Okay, so here, so A, so what that A will gives, so A is nothing but the number of subproblems. A is nothing but the number of subproblems. What is the B? The B is nothing but each and every subproblem size that is given by B. Next, F of n will gives you the D of n plus C of n, that is the time to divide and the time to conquer the solutions in order to get the final solution. That is, so the T of n is equal to A into T of n by B plus F of n. So that is the normal recurrence equation. Okay, that is the normal recurrence equation. Okay, right? So next, coming to the example. So for example, if we take a recursive algorithm, if divides a problem into unequal sizes such as 2 by 3 to 1 by 3 split, then we can have a recurrence. Then we can have a recurrence like this only. So it means if we divide and combine the steps, take linear time, then its recurrence is given as follows. It means, so theta of n, so this is the linear time. So this is the time that is used, or that is given to divide and combine the steps. Okay, that is the linear time, right? So the recurrence becomes, so the t of n is equal to t into 2 of n by 3 plus t of n by 3 plus some theta of n. What it is? So t of 2n by 3, so that is 2 by 3 split, t of n by 3, that is 1 by 3 split. That is, so t of n is equal to t of 2n by 3 plus t of n by 3 plus theta of n here. Okay, so this is the recurrence of the above one. That is, a recursive algorithm if divides a problem into the unequal sizes, that is 2/3, one is 2/3 and another part is 1/3. So for that one, so in order to divide or in order to conquer, okay, in order to divide and also in order to conquer, it will take the linear time, then it will becomes, okay, then it will becomes t of n is equal to t of 2n by 3 plus t of n by 3 plus theta of n here. Okay, so there are some methods to solve these recurrences and obtain the running time of an algorithm. Okay, so and you know that a recurrence gives us a natural way to characterize the running time. Okay, to characterize the running times of the divide and conquer algorithms. Okay, so because of that, so there are some methods to solve these recurrences and obtain the running time of the algorithm. Okay, so let me explain what are those methods. Okay, so coming to those, so here I am I have given these 4 methods for solving the recurrence. First one is the iteration method, then substitution method, then recursion tree method, and then master method. Okay, so coming to this one, so generally if we think about, if we explain in a general manner, so within the iteration method what it will do, so already we have seen that, so within the iteration method how we can solve the particular recurrence and all. Okay, that is, so t of n is equal to 2 into t of n by 2 plus some c into n. For example, if we take a recurrence relation for the merge sort, okay, that is t of n is equal to 2 into t of n by 2 plus c into some n. Okay, some plus c into some n. So it means, okay, so it means, so if you want to find out the time complexity, okay, if you want to characterize the running time of that divide and conquer algorithm, that is nothing but the merge sort. So what we have to do, so we have to apply the iterative method. So within the iterative method, what we can do, so within the iterative method, so we have to convert the recurrences into the summation and try to bound it using the known series. So in order to do that one, so what we have to do, so convert the recurrence into a summation and try to bound it using the known series. That is, so iterate the recurrence until the initial condition is reached. Okay, and the second one is use the back substitution to express the recurrence in terms of n on the initial boundary condition. Okay, initial boundary condition. Okay, you know that, I think you are very familiar with the forward substitution and the backward substitution method, what we have discussed in the previous semesters and all. Okay, so this is the general method. So this is the general way of find out the time complexity, or in order to find out the bound of a given recurrence relation with the help of the iteration method. This is about the iteration method. Okay, so coming to the second one, that is nothing but the substitution method. So in generally, if you think about the substitution method, actually this is a 2-step process. Okay, a substitution method is nothing but it is a 2-step process. So within the first step, what we have to do here is, so within the first step, we have to guess the solution of a given recurrence. Okay, substitution method is a 2-step process. So within the first step, we have to guess the solution. So within the second step, what we have to do, so we have to use the mathematical induction to check whether your guessed solution is either correct or incorrect. Okay, so what I mean to say here is, so the substitution method for solving the recurrences, that is comprises the 2 steps. That is, the first one is it is going to guess the solution, and the second step is it is going to use the mathematical induction to find the constants and show that the solution works. Okay, it means, so it is going to apply the mathematical induction to prove whether the guessed solution is either correct or incorrect. Okay, and this method is very powerful, but we must be able to guess the form of the answer in order to apply it. Okay, so we have to guess the solution. So that is the major problem here within the substitution method. Okay, if your guessed solution is good, then there is no problem. If your guessed solution is bad, then again we have to apply the same procedure until we will get the correct time complexity or the correct running time. Okay, so because of that, we will move to the third one, that is nothing but the recursion tree method. Okay, so within the substitution method, there is a problem, right? So that is nothing but we have to guess the good solution. Okay, good guess is the main problem within the substitution method. So in order to eliminate that good guess problem, so we can move to the third method, that is nothing but the recursion tree method. So coming to this recursion tree method, so within the recursion tree method, what we will do? So within the recursion tree method, so firstly what we have to do here is, the first and foremostly we have to create a tree, that is nothing but a recursion tree. For example, if we take, so within our example we will take the method that is T of n is equal to 2 into T of n by 2 plus some C into n, right? Some C into n. So here, so in order to, so within the recursion tree method, so we have to create the recursion tree first, and we have to find out the per level cost as a second step, and as a third step what we have to do, so we have to find out the per level cost, and we have to sum all those in order to get the geometric series, okay, or arithmetic series, and we have to convert that into the corresponding infinite series. And finally what we have to do here is, so we have to solve and we have to find out the solution. After that we have to apply the substitution method here. Okay, so generally in order to create the recursion tree within the given recurrence, that is T of n is equal to a into T of n by b plus Cn, so we have to take Cn as a root and T of 2 into T of n by 2 as the two leaves, that is T of n by 2 plus T of n by 2, that is 2 into T of n by 2. And we have to extend the tree until we will get the per level cost. With the help of those per level cost, we have to create the series, there is the geometric series and the arithmetic series, and we have to do the corresponding modifications, okay, in order to get the infinite series and all. Okay, so if your x value, that is if your x value is less than 1, then we will go to use the infinite series. We have to convert that into the infinite series, that is 1 by 1 minus x. Then we will find out the time complexity, and upon that we have to we have to perform the substitution method. So that is about the recursion tree method. Okay, so within the recursion tree method, so it will take so much of the computational time, right? So within the substitution method, there is a good guess problem will be there, but when it comes to the recursion tree method, so when we comes to the recursion tree method, so within the recursion tree method, so the good guess problem will be overcome. It means, so again and again we need not to do the procedure to get the exact solution. Okay, instead of that what we will do, so we have to find out, we have to create a tree, that is nothing but the recursion tree. Okay, recursion tree. So after that we have to sum the costs within each level of the tree, okay, to obtain a set of per level cost, and then we sum all the per level cost to determine the total cost of all levels of the recursion. Okay, because so this recursion tree is best used to generate a good guess, which you can then verify by the substitution method. Okay, next. So the fourth one is nothing but that is the master method. Okay, so the master method in the sense, so within the master method, so what we have to do here is, so master method, okay, so master method is going to find out, it is going to provide the bounds for the recurrences. They are of the form that is, so the T of n is equal to a into T of n by b plus f of n, where the a should be greater than or equals to 1, b should be greater than 1, and f of n is a given function that is such as the recurrences arise frequently here. Okay, so the recurrence that is of the form that is T of n is equal to a into T of n by b plus f of n characterizes a divide and conquer algorithm, and that creates a number of subproblems, each of which is 1 by b, of the size of the original problem, and in which we can divide and combine the steps, okay, together to take the f of n time. So that is the master method. So within the master method, this master method will be depends upon the master theorem, and so within that master theorem we are having the three cases. Okay, we are having the three cases. With the help of those three cases, we can find out the bound of a given recurrence relation with the help of the master method. Okay, so there also, so within the master method, so there what we have to do here is, so we will do one thing, that is nothing but, so the T of, so for example, so within the master method we are having the three cases, that is, if f of n is equal to big O of n to the power of log a minus epsilon base b for some constant epsilon greater than 0, then T of n is equal to theta of n to the power of log a base b. That is the first case. So coming to the second one, if f of n is equal to theta of n to the power of log a base b, then T of n is equal to theta of n to the power of log a base b into log n. Okay, next third one is, if f of n is equal to big omega of n to the power of log a plus epsilon base b for some constant epsilon greater than 0, and if a into f of n by b is less than or equals to c into f of n for some constant, that is c less than 1, and all sufficiently large n, then T of n is equal to theta of f of n. Okay, if case 1 is valid, then T of n is equal to theta of n to the power of log a base b will be going to be applied for that one. If the recurrence, if corresponding reference, if the case 2 is valid, then we have to make the time bound, that is the T of n is equal to theta of n to the power of log a base b into log n. Okay, if it validates the case 3 and it is also satisfies the regularity condition, then we will go for the case 3 and we have to apply T of n is equal to theta of f of n. Okay, so within the master method, with the simple, so we can solve any given recurrence relation of the form T of n is equal to n to T of n by b plus f of n with the help of the master method in a very simple manner by using the four steps. Okay, within that the first and foremost step is, so firstly we have to extract the values of a, b and f of n. That is the first and foremost step. Okay, where we can extract the value of a and the value of b and the value of f of n. And the second step is, so within the first step we have to extract the value of a, b and f of n, and the second step is we have to determine the value of n to the power of log a base b. Okay, the value of n to the power of log a base b. As a second step we have to determine the value of n to the power of log a base b. As a third step what we have to do here is, so we have to compare your n to the power of log a base b value that we have found in the step 2 with the f of n. Okay, we have to compare, that is whether your f of n is less than n to the power of log a base b, or your f of n is equal to n to the power of log a base b, or your f of n is greater than n to the power of log a base b. Okay, if your f of n is less than n to the power of log a base b, then without any hesitation we can apply the case 1 of your master theorem. If your f of n is equal to n to the power of log a base b, then we have to apply the case 2. If your f of n is greater than n to the power of log a base b and also it will satisfy the regularity condition, then we will apply the case 3 of your master method. Okay, next fourth step is, so we have to apply the case, that is depends upon whether f of n is less than n to the power of log a base b, f of n is equal to n to the power of log a base b, or f of n is greater than n to the power of log a base b. Okay, so in order to solve any given recurrence relation, so master method is very useful method, and it is a very simple method because there are only 4 steps that are involved, but only the thing is, so we have to remind all those 3 cases. Okay, so as a first step what we have to do, so we have to extract the value of a, the value of b and the value of f of n. After that, step 2 is we have to determine the n to the power of log a base b value. So the step 3 is we have to compare your n to the power of log a base b with the f of n. Okay, and we have to take the corresponding decision. That is, if f of n is less than n to the power of log a base b, then we will go with C1, that is the case 1 of your master method. If f of n is equal to n to the power of log a base b, we have to go with C2, and if f of n is greater than n to the power of log a base b, we will go with the case 3. And also we have to check for the regularity condition also. Okay, so this is about the methods for solving the recurrences. Okay, right? So next, coming to the iteration method. So now I am going to discussing a simple example of this iteration method. Let us assume that the T of n is equal to T of n by 2 plus C. So for this one, so if we see this one, so T of n is equal to C plus T of n by 2. Okay, so in order to elaborate this expression, so we have to substitute the value of T of n by 2. So in order to get the T of n by 2, we have to place the value of n by 2 in the place of T of n is equal to C plus T of n by 2, then we can get this one, that is T of n by 2 is equal to C plus T of n by 4. Okay, we can substitute this one, that is C plus T of n by 2 n by 4 in the place of T of n by 2. So in the place of T of n by 2, we have to place C plus T of n by 4, that is C plus T of n by 4. Then next T of n by 4. So in order to get the T of n by 4 in the place of n, in the place of above recurrence relation, in the place of n we have to place n by 4, then we can get this recurrence relation. That is, so T of n by 4 is equal to C plus T of n by 8. So we have to substitute C plus T of n by 8 in the place of T of n by 4, then C plus T of n by 8. That is 3 into C plus T of n by 8. That is 3 into C plus T of n by 2 to the power of 3. Okay, we can write like that. Okay, that is 3 into C plus T of n by 2 to the power of 3. Okay, let us assume that the value of n is equal to the power of k. Okay, so when should it will becomes 1? It means, so the T of n by n value will be equals to the 1. Okay, it means, so the 3C plus T of n by 2 to the power of 3, t to the power of 3. Okay, let us assume that, so 3 into C, that is k into C. In the place of 3, we can take the k, that is k into C plus T of n by 2 to the power of k. Okay, so k into C plus T of n by 2 to the power of k, that is equal to T of n. So assume the value of n is equal to the power of k. By taking the value of n is equal to the power of k, so T of n is equal to k into C, okay, k into C plus T of n by 2 to the power of k. 2 to the power of k, 2 to the power of both will be cancelled, T of 1 is equal to 1. Okay, then what we can get? So k into C plus T of 1. Okay, k into C plus T of n. So n is equal to the power of k. We have assumed that n is equal to the power of k by placing the logarithmic function on the both sides, that is log n is equal to log 2 to the power of k. So log n is equal to log 2 to the power of k. So you know that one of the property of the logarithmic, that is log a to the power of c base b is equal to c into log a base b. By applying that one, what we can get? So log n is equal to k into log 2, that is k is equal to log n by log 2, that is log n base 2. So the k value is equal to log n base 2. Log n base 2. So n is equal to the power of k in the sense, so T of n is equal to k into C plus T of n by 2 to the power of k, 2 to the power of k, 2 to the power of k, both will be cancelled because we have substituted, or we have assumed that n is equal to the power of k, that is k into C plus T of 1. Okay, then we can get, so the k, what is the value of k? K is equal to log n. After applying the logarithmic function on the both sides, that is k into C, that is k value is log n, so log n into C plus T of 1. So in between these two, T of n is equal to C into log n plus T of 1. So in between these two, so it is a constant function, it is a logarithmic function, right? In between these two, which one is having the highest time complexity? That is obviously the logarithmic function. That is why, so the time complexity of the given recurrence relation, that is T of n is equal to T of n by 2 plus C as theta of log n. So this is the time complexity of the given recurrence relation T of n is equal to T of n by 2 plus C using the iterative method or the iteration method. Okay. Can you understood? Okay, thank you.